Welcome to Stop Fighting with Your Son podcast. I'm Natalia Schneimler, and I'm here to teach you how to finally stop fighting with him and love him like crazy. Because we all want to love our boys, and I am here to help you. Listen up and find out how. Hey guys, how are you doing? How was your Thanksgiving? I hope you had dinner with your family, because a lot of us couldn't get together with the family, right, because of COVID, but we got lucky. My in-laws came. We had a few days with them, which was great. We went on hikes and bike rides and more hikes. We just really exercised a lot and ate a lot, and it was great. Weather was great, and it was so great that now it's turned for snow. It's October 14th here in Calgary, Alberta, and there's snow everywhere, which is beautiful. The kids are happy. They love it. They get to play with it, and I'm used to it. Lots of grown-ups are not happy. But anyway, we're going to talk about my favorite topic today, and it is talking to yourself. How do you love yourself? How do you not love yourself? I think it's really is the reason why we fight with anyone is because of how we talk to ourselves. And when I was doing my self-coaching today and on the weekend, I really noticed this one thing that I did that really made me feel so good that I want to share with you. And I call it the of course rule. And here's how and when to use it. So I find that a lot of the times we want to do such a good job that we think things like, well, I just want to, be a good mom, so I need to be more patient, or I need to enjoy time with my kids. We're like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. I need to do something so that I can enjoy more time with my kids, because I'm so stressed, I'm overwhelmed, there's not enough time to do everything I need to do, and I want to do a good job at work, and I am tired. I shouldn't be this tired, right? I should have energy at the end of the day, right? Because I need to get all this stuff done. So when we say things like that, our response to those things is not nice, because unless, if you're listening to me, that you're probably someone like me who's not that happy with what we're saying. We're like, well, dude, I am tired, and there is too much to do, and I don't have that much time, and what the heck is wrong with me that I'm not enjoying time with my kids? Enough already. I'm really frustrated with you. What, and on top of that, because we're experiencing all these things that are negative, like negative emotion, we pile on shame on top of that, because we say, well, if I haven't figured this out, then something must be wrong with me. So if that's your response to where you're at, to what's going on for you, then of course it makes sense that you would fight with your kid, right? And this is where of course comes in. Of course, it makes sense that you are not feeling loving and you're fighting with your child. But of course I want to offer to you is, what if you said to yourself, well, of course I'm tired at the end of the day. Look what I've done today. I took care of the kids. I went to work. I did the housework. I did the planning. I did groceries. I cooked the meals. I did all the stuff, right? Of course I feel tired. It's okay for me to feel tired, right? Of course I don't feel like doing this stuff. Of course. Who wants to do this much stuff? And who wants to do things in the evening when they're tired? It's understandable that I don't feel like doing it, right? Of course I feel overwhelmed, right? Because I'm believing that it's too much for me to do, right? When I believe that it's too much, then of course I would feel overwhelmed, right? Of course I feel anxious, because if I'm worried, if I'm believing that something bad might happen, or something will go wrong in the future, or somehow I will do a disservice to my kids, or if I'm worried that I won't get things done, If I'm believing all these things, then of course I'm going to feel worried and anxious. That makes perfect sense, right? If 2 plus 2 equals 4, then if I think thoughts that create worry, then I will feel worried, right? It makes perfect sense, right? Of course, I feel frustrated and angry if I'm wishing that my child wasn't doing this thing that he was doing, right? Or, of course, I feel angry if I'm thinking these thoughts that are resisting reality. If I'm wishing that my life was different, well, of course, I'm going to feel angry, right? It makes perfect sense. So I want to invite you to add more of that, of course, into your life, where you understand that the reason why you're feeling this way is because you're believing all these things about your life that are causing you to feel this way, right? So it's kind of like when a child believes that there's a monster under the bed. I really love using this example because it kind of gives us, it makes it so much easier to understand that, we as grown-ups, we know that monsters don't exist. So it's super easy for us to not be afraid, right? Because we don't believe they exist. So when our child says, "Oh, I'm afraid there's a monster under the bed," what we can do for a child, is we can love our kid and think it's super cute that he believes that. And we can also take that child and take care of it and show it, "Hey, buddy, I know, I understand you're afraid because you're believing there's a monster, but let me help you. Let me just show you that there actually is no monster under the bed." And what we're doing here is we are saying, of course, he feels scared because he believes there's a monster, right? We're not going to ridicule the kid for believing that there's a monster, right? Because we understand that he's innocent. What he's believing is not true, so we're going to just help him. We're going to love him when he does that, right? So we're not going to say, "Well, don't be an idiot. Of course there's no monsters," right? Like, dumb, you're stupid. You shouldn't believe that, right? We're not going to say that because we understand what's happening. And so I want us to do the same thing for ourselves. Of course you feel overwhelmed when you believe there's no time and there's too much to do, right? Of course you're scared when you think there's a monster. And I understand, of course, that's totally normal. Our brain is wired to think something's wrong and to look for evidence of how everything is wrong. That's what our brain does. It's our human brain. It has kept us in survival and it kept us alive for so long. It served us so well. So it's doing that now, and it's okay. You don't have to keep believing this thing that causes your overwhelm, because the to-do list and all the things that you have to do can never cause any feeling in your body, right? Ever. Because I for sure know for a fact that you have had a time, many, many times, where you have nailed how many things that you had to do. You had a full list of things, and you, instead of feeling overwhelmed, you decided to feel determined to get them done, and you felt focused, and you went to work and got them done, and you felt like a badass, right? So how can the to-do list and how many things we had to do create focus time for us or create overwhelm for us? It does not. What we believe about the to-do list will create our feeling for us, right? If we think like this is too much, then we will feel overwhelmed, of course. And if we think we can get it done, then we feel determined, focused, and we get it done, right? So just like the monster does not exist under the bed, the to-do list is also, like, it does not exist in such a powerful way that we have created it to exist, right? What we believe about it is what's creating our emotion about it. So I want to invite you to really hold yourself in your arms and tell yourself, of course, baby girl, that's how you're feeling because you're believing all this. It's okay. Nothing has gone wrong. Your human brain is just doing its thing, and I am here to guide you, and you are your own watcher. You witnessing your brain think is the most powerful thing you can do. And you can notice your brain think things that don't serve you and choose to think something more useful, right? And when you're not choosing to think things that are more useful, you can do the most loving thing for yourself is to say, of course, that's how you're feeling. Of course. You're believing this and it's okay. Totally fine, right? Notice the difference that you in feelings when you think, oh, I'm tired and I shouldn't be tired. Like this is just too much. I should know how to get it all done. People should help me. And like, this is just, I don't know how to do any of this. This is just not fair. I need more help, blah, 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 right? That feels a lot more frustrating for you. You feel super victimized by your life and angry, right? You are giving away all your power to all these external life things. But when you say, of course I feel this way, you are basically saying it's okay for me to feel this way because it's innocent and I am causing my own feeling when I'm believing this thing. And it's okay. Because guess what? If I can think things that cause my overwhelm, I can also choose to think things that cause me not to feel overwhelmed. Like instead of thinking, oh my gosh, it's too much, you can say, I am a pro at doing all of these things, right? Or if that's too much, too stretch, a big stretch for you, you can say, I can do one thing right now. Or yes, I can't do all these 10 things today, but I can do 3 really well, right? Notice how you can still choose any of those other options and you're no longer the victim. So I want to give you this tool of course, to really gonna give yourself this big hug of love and compassion when you need it. When you're judging yourself, like I shouldn't be tired, I should have more time, I should have done it already. Don't shoot yourself to death. Give yourself some understanding, right? You're human and you're experiencing human things. And it's okay. I want you to know it's okay. It's not going to get better or worse than this. All that's going to happen is you're going to keep thinking thoughts that cause your emotions. That's all that's going to happen. So this is what I want to leave you with today. Whenever in trouble, whenever you feel frustrated, tell yourself, of course. And as you get better at being like accepting where you are with, of course, this is where I'm at, the better you will get at doing that for your son, for your kids, for your husband. If they do something that you think they shouldn't have done or do it late or whatever, you would say, of course he didn't do his homework. He's a child. He's still learning the skill of doing things on time. What can I do to support him so he can be more successful? Right? Of course my husband is tired and doesn't feel like putting kids to bed. Of course. I know so well what that feels like. I totally understand where he's coming from. What can I do to help him? What can I do to help me? Because of course I feel tired as well. Notice how that phrase, of course, just brings so much more compassion to your life and eventually to your kids, your son, your husband. I love you all so much. I hope you have a great day. And of course, you feel the way you feel every single time because you're believing something in your brain that causes that feeling. All right. I love you. And you guys need to come follow me on Instagram at coaching_Natalia. Come follow me there. And also I invite you to join my Facebook group. It is called Stop Fighting with Your Son. Come join me there where I take this work deeper and share a lot more helpful theory and tips and tricks that I have learned to really have you stop fighting with your son, 0 fights, achieve it, be done, put that story back in the past, and now enjoy time with your kids, with your son. Love you all. Bye.